Hello everyone, this is Kavi Singh. Today I have brought a video lecture on EdTech revolution and its implications. So this topic might be useful for your GS papers, but I think this will be asked in essay paper directly or indirectly. Okay, so let's go with the definition first. EdTech is the combination of IT software and educational practices aimed at enhancing learning. It is basically the practice of introducing the IT tools in the classroom. Okay, it has not only revolutionized the education sector but also the very thinking of human race. As you all know that 2020 has been a year of many firsts for us. First, social distance, lockdown, but the most positive change that most positive change was in the education sector. Every school has to switch to online classes. Okay, and in this global world, the revolution was inevitable. And pandemic, look, the integration of technology in education is not new because technology has become such an integral part of our society that it is necessary to integrate its use in education. But the pandemic has just hastened the edtech revolution, hastened the process. That's all. Okay. Talking about its pillars, it has four pillars basically: robust demand, competitive advantage, policy support, and increasing investment. Talking about robust demand, India houses the second India houses the largest population in the world, consisting of 500 million people in the age group of 5 to 24. India has a population of more than 250 million school going students, more than any other country. India also has a large concentration of working professionals who benefit from the tech platforms. Now, talking about competitive advantage, there were 504 million regular internet users in India in November 2019, and this increased by 47 million people from 2020 to 2021 January. This number has further increased over the first quarter of 2021. Access to the internet will determine the quality of education imparted to even the most remote regions of India. Okay. Now talking about the policy support, the government has taken initiatives like the NABL for higher education and the Foreign Educational Institution Bill, which improves access to quality education from all corners of the nation and globe. To make it clear about what is this bill, let me write it down. Okay, one second. This is what we call National Accreditation 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 and what is this? Authority bill. This is the bill. This will improve access to quality education from all corners of the nation and the globe. And we all know that in education sector, 100% FDI is permitted through automatic route. Okay. And talking about the last, that is increasing investment, the edtech market already has crossed $4 billion funding during the first quarter of 2021. Yeah. And in 2020, investments in edtech touched $2.3 billion from venture capital funds. These are really huge numbers to reckon with. Okay. Now going further, talking about the requirements for edtech to flourish. These are some basic requirements which every country needs to focus on. That is robust IT ecosystem, population eager to hone their skills, supporting government regulations, friendly environment for technology in and outside home, access to digital gadgets like mobile, PC, etc. They must be affordable to common people and dissemination of knowledge. These are very pertinent points that every country should be focusing on so that the edtech revolution flourishes in their region. Talking about the implications, we can see in the near future that college library classes all will be moving towards digital technology. We'll be having library on your laptop, anything you can access that. We have technology like we have it's I think app was launched like course app. I'm not remembering that name on which government has launched that app for books keeping. Okay, you must find it out what's the name. Here you can give that example. And second, technology usage is so ubiquitous in today's world that the children would be trained for jobs which do not even exist right now. This is really interesting. With access to technology, right to education to every child can become reality. Best teachers of the world can teach students living in the far-flung areas. Online learning is already the new norm. We all know that. And EdTech has capacity to provide quality education to all, thus can replace conventional schools in near future. That is, we will not be seeing children going to school carrying bags heavier than their weight in near future. Talking about more implications, it may also lead to robotic revolution, where repetitive tasks of teachers, teaching, and learning will be assisted by technology. It will bridge the gap between theory and application by developing experiential learning technology. Traditional jobs like customer service may disappear because customer service requires it's a task of like repetitive task. Okay, and this can be done by AI. In near future, you will be seeing robots talking to you on your phone, calling you for lead role, anything else like that. And importance to of adapting edtech. So before going to this, you must focus on what are these advantages. Oh, what are their advantages? Okay, what has you can add some more points in implication here, like potential for scalable individualized learning has played on im- an important role in edtech ascendance. We all know that everyone learn at their own pace. Edtech has made easier for teachers to create individualized lessons, and this will really boost the learning capacity of children. And it is not only empowering teachers to expand their reach, but also it is empowering students to learn independently. So in 21st century, I think these are the skills which every children must have, and I think everyone must have. That is personal and social responsibility, planning, critical thinking and reasoning, and creativity. Strong communication skills, both for interpersonal and presentation needs, cross cultural understanding, visualizing and decision making, knowing how and when to use technology, and choosing the most appropriate tool for the task. Okay, now talking about the facts. India has 120th rank in acceptance of information and communication technologies. 150 million EdTech addressable students in India are present. 665 million wireless internet subscribers in the first quarter of 2019, according to the report. India has grown for 14% in base for internet services. That is really great. And report by Redseer and Omidar network shows that the EdTech user base has growth from 45 million to 90 million in K-12 and post K-12 sector, and it includes both free and paid users. And it is also important to note that the time spent, according to the report, the time spent has more increased by 50%. That has changed from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. And on the other side, India is currently home to over 3,500 tech startups. Look, startups, even 2020 was good for tech startups also. This proved their merits in the world. Okay. Online education in India could be worth $1.96 billion by 2021, and 40% of customers may stop using EdTech after restrictions are removed. This point we will see in the another slide why 40% of customers may stop using EdTech. Okay, in the limitation side. Now talk about the limitation. According to NSS data, only 6% rural household and 25% urban household have a computer. Survey by NCERT, Azim Premji Foundation, Acer and Oxfam, between 27% and 60% could not access online classes because lack of devices, shared devices, inability to buy data packs, lack of stable connections, and lack of learning environment at home. Okay, that is why that is why the 40% of customers may stop using EdTech after restrictions are removed. These are limitations which need to be overcome in order to have fruitful result from the EdTech revolution. Talking about the privacy issue, this is some issue which a concerning one, which is might holding back the revolution. The pandemic has resulted into replacement of conventional class with online study. This is true. The EdTech have advantage of customizing learning to every student in the system. To perform the process of learning customization, the apps collect large quantities of data from the learners. These data are analyzed in minute details to customize learning and design future version of app. The gadgets have sensors and these provide data about the learner's surroundings. Sensors like anything, fingerprint reader, biometric readers, everything is very could prove disaster if used in an adverse way. Okay, actually, this article came into the Hindu. I took all these points from the Hindu, and I just मैंने आप बस एक जगह सबको कर दिया है आप लोगों के लिए. Okay, India does not have protection to equivalent GDPR. आई थिंक यू ऑल नो व्हाट GDPR है. आप लोग सबको पता होगा GDPR क्या है. अगर नहीं पता हो यू कैन मैसेज मी और मैसेज मी ऑन माई ईमेल, मेल मी और लीव अ कमेंट टू मेक वीडियो ऑन GDPR. मैं आप लोगों के लिए GDPR पे एक वीडियो बना दूंगा. ओके, and the incident of 2014 in that article, incident of 2014 about the experimental evidence of massive scale emotional contagion through social networks. This was study done 2014 में ये स्टडी दिया किया गया था. And Facebook manipulated the emotions of 7 lakh users by changing the type of posts that were shown to the customers. This was one of the implications of privacy issues which जो ये स्टडी आपको फोकस कर रहा था. Okay, so these are some of the points which you can use in your essay paper. I think these are basic points. All using all these points you can easily write essay to 1000 to 1200 words with your imagination also. So if you need me to make more videos, do mail me or leave a comment for me. Thank you. That will be all for today. This is my email number, email ID. You can contact me here anytime. Thank you.